So, in regards to the DC shooting of two National Guardsmen, they are still in critical condition. The assailant has been arrested and has life threatening injuries. Um, there has been an emergency appeal from the Trump administration to a federal court to stay their finding that the deployment of Guard troops to DC was unconstitutional. They had a period of time to appeal, and they have asked for an emergency appeal to stay that, to keep guardsmen there. They have also requested 500 additional guardsmen to go to DC in response to this. The West Virginia AG, Mr. McCluskey, Attorney General, has said that National Guard troops in West Virginia, would jump at the chance to go to D.C., the city where their brothers were shot, where their fellow members were shot. We are witnessing, and it's all over the coverage, news coverage everywhere. Um, we are witnessing an attempt, I think, by this administration to get further control over DC, to increase the King's Guard, quote unquote, individuals that were not supposed to be there in the first place. There was no need to be there in the first place. DC didn't request them. Historical plummet in crime rates before they were sent there. They have been sent there as the King's Guard, and he wants to send more now because two National Guardsmen were shot, apparently by an Afghan who entered the country in 2021, applied for asylum in 2024, and then that was approved in 2025, early this year, by the Trump administration. He is in custody once again. That is all I know about the suspect so far. There are things happening, in my opinion. There are things happening. You can see multiple figures in the administration who are talking about what tragedy and shock it is, and it is. It absolutely is. They are ginning this up really fast. Um, will 500 additional guardsmen go to DC? Probably. We'll see what happens with the federal finding as far as the judge who said it was unconstitutional to have troops there. We'll see what happens with that and the emergency appeal. All this is with the Guard is going to go to the Supreme Court at some point. And I want to say there's even a part of it that is there now regarding a Portland decision or Chicago decision. And so there will be a ruling. And if there is a ruling in favor of keeping troops in DC and letting the president do this, it will likely be as a result of this shooting two National Guardsmen by supposedly an Afghan individual who was in the country on asylum. So I have fucking questions. I have fucking questions. This administration approved this guy's asylum. I have fucking questions. And they are notoriously anti-immigrant and anti-Afghan. Even the translators that helped us, they've been trying to prevent them from getting in forever. The ones who helped our troops in Afghanistan and risked their lives. But this guy, yeah, and I don't know shit. I don't know anything. But with the history of this administration and Charlie Kirk and the handling of that, the attack on the ICE facility that only hit immigrants and had bullets saying anti-ICE all over them, and the FBI's handling of some of these things, Patel's handling of some of these things, the DOJ's handling of investigations. I have fucking questions. And I honestly am trying to be a voice of reality and truth and reason. And based on what this administration has shown me about what it wants to do, or what it shows the American people, Butler, things like that, I have fucking questions. So the most important thing is the two National Guardsmen are still alive, critical condition. They're being taken care of now. That's the most important thing at the moment. But I've got fucking questions. So I hope you do too. Yeah, there's a lot of rage going around from a lot of the same mouthpieces who seem to throw bullshit whenever it's beneficial to them, and that worries me. And what are they going to try to do with this? Try to do. Um, Again, the courts have been amazing in reining in this administration. I think this administration is terrified of what's going to happen with the Epstein files. They're going to try to make themselves feel more comfortable and secure and feel like nobody can touch them if they have this, quote unquote, King's Guard of, soldiers around them. And again, these soldiers obey the Constitution and the UCMJ and the rule of law. And these two National Guardsmen being shot won't change that. And would this administration sacrifice a couple of people in order to try to get more security for themselves and to cause fear? I think they fucking would. I think they would, based on their history. I think it's hard not to think that. Do I know? No, I don't. And so I'm not putting tinfoil hat shit on. I'm just looking at what they have shown me in their past and what I see happening. So this is something that I will continue to try to follow as we move forward. Check the courts, watch what they do as far as the emergency appeals, the Supreme Court. Believe in our National Guard. Believe in the military. Ask that this individual be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law, and we find out the entire backstory of this individual and what has happened there, and ask this administration why the National Guard was there in the first place, and now sending 500 more or trying to send 500 more. So I've got fucking questions. And this is something they've brought on themselves with the Kirk stuff, with Butler, with the ICE attack, all of these things. I have questions. I don't have knowledge about it, but I do. I have questions, and it's okay if you do too. But watch for what these people are going to push at us, and watch what they're going to say, and watch what they're going to try to do if they're going to try to do an overreach and a power grab to some limited fashion. So please be aware of that. But you'll hear a lot of ranting and raving about violence, from the GOP mouthpiece, big time. They won't say jack shit about the president, giving death threats to Democratic congressmen and senators, but they will lose their fucking mind about this. They will lose their fucking mind about this, and how, the country's a hellhole, and the only way we can save it is through more security. So watch for that, please. Okay? All right, thanks.